Hello, hello. Hi, Mary. You're the first one again. You really do deserve a prize. Hello, hello. This light just doesn't seem right today. I think that's better. Good to see you, my friend. I think I have a fun project for us today. I'm going to wait for a few more people to get on here. You and me, Mary, we're right on time, man. Okay, they're starting to come on. If you're coming on, say hello. We've got a lot to get done today. Hello, hello. I don't know what is wrong with, oh, that's a little better. I guess it's just because of the way I had the camera. Okay, you guys, I'm going to get started because I have a lot to get done today. I wanted to just show you, in case you didn't see my live on, I don't know what day it was. Today's Tuesday. I think it was Friday night. Because I don't usually go live on Friday nights. And so I did another one of those canvas bags. And this one I got finished. And it's going to have a beautiful Christmas gift in it. This one I still need to go, it's decoupaged, but I still need to go with the Posh Pigment Chalk. Let me figure out what it's called. It's the Posh Chalk Metallic Paste is what I need to put on it. And then some of the 24 karat gold on top of that, just to finish off around the edges of it. So I did that on Friday night, and you can go back to my page to Friday if you want to see how that was done. And then today we're going to do a wooden Christmas tree, and it's a plain tree like this, and I have them up on the website if you're interested in buying them. They're $3.99, and they're really, really nice quality wood trees. And so I went ahead just for time's sake and painted it, and I painted it the same color as my front door, you guys. It's the Wise Owl 1 hour enamel in Foxtrot. And I have, I painted my front door and I still have quite a bit left. And I'm a lover of green. And so I thought, I'm just going to use that. And one of the advantages to using it is that I did go ahead and put 2 coats on here, but I don't have to put a top coat on here because that's already in the product. It's similar to Dixie Belle's Silk Paint because it has the color and the top coat. And one of the really big advantages to the 1 hour enamel, and this is why I used it on my front door, is that it is 90% cured in 1 hour. That's why it's called 1 hour enamel. So they created this product for people who were doing doors and windows and kitchen cabinets and needed to get those things back into action quickly, not have to wait days before they can get to them. And so this has already got a top coat. It's got 2 coats of paint and it's already got a top coat on it. And guess what, you guys? We aren't decoupaging today. I know, mark it on the calendar because you know me, I love to decoupage. But this is going to be a different kind of project today. We're going to do, I love, love, love the stencil that I created. And it's an adhesive stencil. I could make it into a mylar stencil, but the snowflake would be a problem. I'd have to find a different snowflake to do that. But we're going to use it on this tree. We're going to be using the Posh pigment in gold. And I'm going to be using some Would You Bend trim. Isn't that pretty? That's the same trim that I used on the Santa boot. I just love it. And, you know, one roll of it, I've gotten to do multiple projects with it. And I think it'll be super, super pretty on here. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to put the camera down and let's get started. Let me say a quick hello. Hi, Lori. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Kellyanne. Okay, ladies, let's get busy. I got to figure out where the tree needs to be for the camera. It's always a trick for me. Oh, I think I'm doing it right for a change. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the adhesive. If you just joined, I've got 2 coats of the Wise Owl 1 hour enamel on here, and it's dry. And I'm going to be using an adhesive stencil. And the stencil, along with, I created a couple of different, oh, this is the wrong stencil, you guys. Oh, I'm glad I caught that. Woo-wee. Like I said, I created several stencils today. That stencil I just showed you is for one of the ornaments, and this one is for one of the ornaments. I think this is so pretty. Let me see if I can get the whole thing in the camera. It has Santa Claus and the reindeer flying across the sky, and it says Merry Christmas on it. I love this. And those 2 stencils are on the website, and then this is the one that we're going to be doing today on this tree, which I thought was really cool. Now I'm going to block off the star at the top. Let me see if I can get the star in the camera. See the star? I'm going to block it off because there's already a star on this tree. So, and it says, the stencil says joy, hope, love, peace, and Christmas. And it's got a variety of snowflakes. And I actually sent an email to the creator of this design because those snowflakes do not, I knew before I even started it that those snowflakes were never going to cut properly. They were just too detailed and too small, and I wanted him to ungroup the stencils so that I could enlarge them and fix it, but he hasn't replied back to me yet, so hopefully. And these people who create these, they don't like to ungroup anything. So I don't know that they will, but if they don't, they won't get a good review from me. Okay, so this is an adhesive stencil. I know many of you have seen me do it before. And the backing on it is just like contact paper. And at a 45-degree angle, I'm going to pull that backing paper off, and there's a reason it needs to be at 45 degrees, because like any of the pieces that are inside, like E's and Y's and B's and A's, sometimes those will pull off when you're doing this. And if you're pulling it off at a 45-degree angle and paying attention, then you can just lay it back down and get it exactly back in place. This one's coming off nicely. Okay. So this part is all sticky. And anytime you buy an adhesive stencil from me, you always get instructions on how to use the stencil. It comes with your stencil in case you have forgotten or you're nervous about it. And I find that it's also easier to stand up over your piece to place your stencil down. And so I'm gonna, that little star that I'm not gonna use, I'm gonna put up there and try to center that. And it's kind of hard to see through this stencil. Usually I can, but it looks like I did okay. So then the next thing you want to do is burnish it down really well. So I'm just rubbing it all with my fingertips all down. And then I'm going to start down here at the bottom. And this white paper that's on here is called the transfer tape, because this is what actually transfers your stencil onto your piece. And again, at a 45-degree angle, I'm pulling this back at a 45-degree angle, so if anything lifts back up, it's going to stick to this transfer tape, and then I can just lay it back down and get it exactly where it needs to go. So you just take your time with it. I love using these adhesive. Now see, that one lifted up part of the loop in there on the Christmas. So I'm just going to lay it back down and just burnish that piece back on. And it went right back on exactly where it was supposed to go. So that's why you go slow, and that's why you do it at a 45-degree angle. If you pulled straight up, you'd be pulling your adhesive stencil straight up, and it wouldn't adhere down as well. Looks like my placement on here didn't quite, let's see what it's going to look like. Oh, it's the H, it's the little fleur from the H, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, it looks like this whole thing could have shifted just a slight bit to the right, but I think it will still be okay. All right, so once again, just use your fingertips and just make sure that everything is down well. And a trick that I like to do, just to make sure that I don't get any leakage, is I like to take a little bit of satin top coat. Just takes a little dab. And I like to just paint over. Now I'm going to put a piece of painter's tape, if I can find where I put it at on this table. Don't know where I put it. Well, I have some more. I have lots of painter's tape, you guys. Okay, I just want to put a little piece of painter's tape over that star up there because I don't think I need a star at the top of this tree when I have such a pretty star already at the top of this tree. So just so I don't forget what I'm doing, I just want to put tape over that. Okay, so then I'm just going to put on one coat of satin top coat on here. And what this does, you guys, is it puts down a barrier. So if anything was going to leak under the stencil, like if I have an air bubble or anything was going to leak, it's going to get filled up with this satin top coat and not when I go to put my paint on. The paint isn't going to leak underneath because we've sealed it. Does that make sense? I have to tell you guys, I am having so much fun this year working on Christmas projects. It just feels so good. After having done Pinners Conference for 2 years in a row, I mean, that just knocked all the Christmas spirit right out of me. And this year, I'm really enjoying the process of creating and decorating. I did get my tree out of my storage shed yesterday. It's not up, but it's in the family room. I'll get it up. It's not a real big tree, so it won't take me real long. But I've just had so much fun creating all of these fun things. I hope you guys are enjoying them. And I think projects like this are really fun things that you can do quickly. And they're fun projects that you could do with your kids and grandkids because they're not overly complicated. Like my 8-year-old granddaughter could do this with her eyes closed. She does some pretty amazing stuff. Okay, so I've noticed 2 things on here, you guys. Well, now I've noticed 3 things. On the Christmas, in the loop with the S here, the center is gone. And here and here. And I don't know if I did that when I was creating the stencil, or if I did it, or if it just wasn't even there. I don't know. I didn't notice it till just now. But so after I get done stenciling, I'll just go back with some of the foxtrot and put those items in there. So that's all I need of that, and I'm just going to give it a quick dry. And while I'm drying it, I'll take a look to see if you guys have any questions. Micheline, you are so right, and I am really, really enjoying this season. And having worked so hard the last 2 years for pinners, just makes me, I think, appreciate this year even more. I'm not taking it for granted. I'm just like so enjoying every minute. I was at my daughter's yesterday, and she always has, every year she has a cookie party, and she invites her very best girlfriends that go all the way back to high school. And I've known these girls since they were young teenagers. And we always get together and everybody bakes several different kinds of cookies. This year, those girls really knocked it out of the ballpark. I mean, they came up with cookies I've never heard of, with ingredients I would never think of putting together. And boy, did they make some beautiful and delicious cookies. And then, you know, we pass them out to our friends and neighbors and stuff like that. So that was really fun yesterday. And then all of these young women all have children of their own. And I've watched their children grow up over the years. And so, you know, that was super fun to spend the day with all of them yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to use the Would You Bend Posh Pigment. You guys have seen me use this quite a bit. I really love this product, and I think the gold is just gorgeous. It's one of my favorite golds. And one of the reasons I like it so much is a little bit goes a long ways, and it's really vibrant. And so I got these little 2-ounce containers on Amazon, and they have lids. So I'm going to mix it in that. And then if I have any left over, I can just put the lid on it and it'll be ready to go for my next project. Because I always seem to have extra. And then you can just use your satin top coat. Would You Bend does have a infuser that they recommend, but I have found that my satin top coat works just as well. And so I do have the infuser, but I always, you know, like I just squirt that top coat on, and I have some excess. So all I'm doing here, you guys, is just stirring it up. And it looks like I need a little more of the satin top coat. I love stirring this up because it reminds me of when you melt metal, like gold or silver. It gets really liquidy and molten. It's so pretty. So that's what I'm doing here. And if you do this and you store it and then you go back a few days later and it has a green tint in it, all you have to do is just stir it up again, add a little bit more of your infuser or your satin, and just stir it up. You don't have to throw it out. Nothing's gone bad in it. Sometimes the product just separates. Okay, so I'm just going to start painting this on. So pretty, you guys. And I also want to paint my star. Love this gold. And this gold comes in 3 different tints. This is the pale gold. There's an orange gold that's very pretty. So I have to tell you guys, I've had a break from working on furniture and doing these craft projects, and that's been really nice. But this fellow artisan at Ground Floor Artist asked me the other day when I was in there, he showed me a picture and he has some furniture that he wants to get rid of. And he had 2 nightstands and he had a picture of them and asked me if I'd be interested. And you guys, I do a lot of nightstands. I like doing them and they sell well. But I like to do things that aren't ordinary. And he showed me a picture and I got all excited because these nightstands that he has would be really cool to do in like the apothecary look with the hardware. So when the holidays are over, I'll be getting back to doing some furniture projects, but I'm also working on new designs, tissue designs for spring and Easter. So I'll have new designs coming out shortly. And just an update to you guys, I had made the comment to everybody last week on my live that I was so frustrated because I sold out of my Christmas papers, which, you know, I guess is a good thing. I mean, I'm happy about that. But I wasn't able to order anymore, which was really frustrating to me because the company could not get their hands on decoupage tissue paper. And I'm like, I'm so sick and tired of, you know, you can't, I order groceries and I get half of what I order on my groceries. I'm almost 71 years old, you guys, and never in my lifetime have I experienced not being able to go to the grocery store and get butter or cream for my coffee or anything that I've needed. And nowadays, you just never know if they're going to have it or not. It's unbelievable. So anyway, I got sidetracked. Anyway, I got notification that they did get paper back in and now I can order. So I put in a very small order of the tissue for Christmas. So if you are still wanting some of the tissue that was the pattern with the green and black plaid and then the red, green, I don't have any of them handy, but all the patterns that you've seen me using, and then the Santas, the 4 on one page, and then the big Santas, like the big Santa behind me, everybody's been wanting that one. And I sold out of that almost before I finished my live last week. So anyway, I've got more tissue paper coming in if anybody is needing it. I'll stop here in a minute and look at your comments and questions. I've just been chattering away. Isn't that gold gorgeous? Hey Sherry, good to see you. Mary, thank you about the would you bend on my front door. I mean, you all saw me do my front door. What was that, like 2 months ago? That's what happens to me, is things just go in rotation, and it takes me a while sometimes just to get those finishing touches on. But that was a fast project. It took me longer just to get my camera stand out there and get my stuff out there than it did actually to do it. And it took me longer to splice it all together and edit it. But I'm really happy with my front door. It really does look pretty. And I wanted to get it done because I want to get my front porch decorated. And that would you bend is not supposed to just be plain like that. It's supposed to be all glammed up. So love this gold. If you guys could see it, it looks like real gold powder. I mean, like real gold, not gold paint. It doesn't, it has so much, oh, it's not texture. It's just all that, it's because it's a powder, and it just has that every little element of that powder has an intense sheen to it. It's hard to explain. So I'm gonna get a coat of this on here, and then I'm gonna go back and put another coat on. And I told you I was going to put that would you bin down here on the tree stump, so I think that'll be really pretty too. So what projects are you guys all working on? What are you guys doing to get in the Christmas spirit? Hi, Melissa. Thank you. I thought that when I saw this design, I just thought, oh, that is really perfect for those trees. The snowflakes on it are really pretty, but they don't cut well. And I knew it when I looked at it that they weren't going to cut properly. And I sent a message to the designer and he hasn't replied back yet because it wasn't a pattern. A lot of these designers will lock the pattern so you can't make any changes or alterations, which frustrates the dickens out of me because I want to change everything and make it my own. So some don't lock it and some do, but in this case, I really needed it unlocked so I could enlarge those snowflakes so that they would cut properly. There's no way they would have cut on Mylar for sure, and they were too little to cut on vinyl properly. Okay, so I'm going to give this a quick dry. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Hi, Nancy. I haven't seen you in a while. So Lisa, you're doing reindeer decoupaging them? You should post a picture when you're done. I would love to see what you're doing. Nancy, you're working on ornaments for an ornament exchange? How nice. Mackenzie Child inspired? Oh, I bet that's going to be fun. Okay, so I'm going to go back up and put a second coat up here on my star, my big star at the top. And this should go fast because it's just the second coat. Then we'll go back on our lettering here and get a second coat on here real quick. I don't know how I'm doing on time. Oh, it's slipping away like it always does. I want to be sure and get to the would you bend part on here for that trunk, you guys. So I may run over a little bit today. So in my studio, I have the ornament, the wooden ornaments, and this will be the first Christmas tree that I've done. But besides hanging them up on a wall or a door, they look really pretty on easels, and you can get those small easels at the 5-quarter store, formerly known as the dollar store, for 5 quarters. And they work great. I have a bunch of them. And just set these up on a credenza or a buffet. They don't have to be hanging on a door or a wall. They look real pretty in the easels. Okay. So that's that, you guys. I'm going to put the lid on my little container here. And set my gold aside. That's awesome. And we'll give this a quick little dry. Oh, Melissa, I completely forgot about your coasters. I was supposed to get some in the mail to you and completely forgot. I'm so sorry. Whoever gets them, that's going to be super nice. Did you find the napkins you were looking for? Oh, Mary, well, I'm still working on the same project, and I'm getting ready to do the big reveal on this stencil, which I know you know how to do. And then I'm going to do the would you bend down here on the base of the tree. So that's where we're at. So I always love it when you pull up a stencil and you get to see how pretty it is. And I think this gold is going to be really pretty on this green. This is a really rich green. Oh, even that snowflake came out nice, and some of these snowflakes are wackadoodle. The pieces that are breaking off here, I'll just go back with my picker and pick them out of there in a minute. I'm going to cut some of this off. So you can see as I'm doing this how crisp and clean those lines are, and that's for two different reasons. A, because it's an adhesive stencil, and B, because we went ahead and put that insurance coat on of the satin top coat just to ensure that we didn't have any leakage going on. So now I'm going to use my X-Acto knife. I do have an actual picker, but this is what's on my table and it'll work just fine. And if you don't have an official picker, then you'll know that you can use your X-Acto knife or a toothpick or anything that has a point to it. And that just pulls out all the little pieces that are in between your letters. And this, and this are missing the inside piece. I don't know if obviously I made an error when I was putting the stencil together. But I can just go back with my green paint and fill that in. You guys, my stomach has been growling all day today, and it is so loud, it's shocking. I'm like, good grief, I can't believe that's my own stomach. So you guys, if I just moved my stencil over just like a 1/4 of an inch over, then I don't think my hope would have come off the edge there. But you know what? It's okay. It's not going to keep me awake at night. I don't know what little Scruffy's barking at. I think he hears kids outside. Oh, my picker just fell apart. Okay. So let me get this stuff all off my fingers. just keeps sticking, guys. Okay. So I keep thinking I've got it off and then it just sticks right back on. Okay, I'm going to bring the camera up here for just a minute. Because I want to hold this up so that you can see how pretty it turned out, you guys. Isn't that cool? If you like this, give me some hearts on here. Your dog hears my dog? That's funny. Fierce dog alarm. Oh, Mary, you ordered yourself a Cricut. That's awesome. What kind did you get? Thanks. Okay, so down here, it won't take very long, you guys, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it. But down here is where I want to put this really pretty Would You Bend trim. And if you're interested in ordering it, I do have 2 or 3 more rolls of it. And the number is 0045 for this trim. And I used this trim on the Santa boot. I've used it on several projects, so it goes a long ways, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to put the camera back down so you can see how I do the trim. Okay. All right, I want to be sure that I have this down here in the right place for you guys to see. All right, and then I need to heat it up. So I'm just going to use this is a heat tool, but you can use a heat gun. Another way to use this is if you've got a crock pot or an electric griddle, something like that, that works because you can just plug it in and lay your Would You Bend on top of it and just keep it warm, and then it'll stay flexible and pliable. But see how I can already, this heat gun's hot, I can already manipulate it. It doesn't take long. And so I'm going to have to do it piece by piece, but I just want to put it across the, woo, that's hot, hot, hot to hold on to, you guys. So I'm going to put it there, and with my X-Acto knife, I'm just going to cut it. So that's one piece. And it's already starting to cool. And so if you break a piece, don't worry about it. You just heat it up and stick it back together again. And this does beautiful, beautiful on furniture pieces. So you saw me put one on my front door. You can do all kinds of trims on your furniture. They're always coming out with new designs. So I'm just taking my X-Acto knife and cutting it off. So we got 2 pieces. I think it's going to take one more little section. They don't have to be perfect because a tree trunk isn't perfect. Yeah, 3 pieces of this work out exactly perfect. Just like I planned it in my head. Love, love, love. Okay, so I don't want to be painting them on here because I don't want to get any color over here on my... So I'm just going to do them, I think I'll do them on this. And that's the bottom, that's the middle, and I want to keep it that way. So we'll set the tree out of the way for the moment. And I love this metallic paste, you guys, this Posh chalk. That's what I used on my Santa, my big Santa, the one that's behind me. Oh, I have to show you guys my son-in-law, my sweet son-in-law. I had bought some wood trim for that big Santa. So on the top is I'm going to stain it with walnut stain. You could also use the voodoo stain, but on the top I'm going to put this board across the top of it stained. And you guys, I'm thinking I might put some wood you bend across the top of it too. And then on the bottom, I have a smaller, more narrow piece that will anchor and hold the bottom of it. So I'm anxious to get that done. I had such a huge response from people on that. It just made me happy. Okay, so I'm going to take, this is the Posh Chalk metallic paste, and the color is the brown Van Dyke, and it has that bronzy metallic sheen to it. I just love the color. And so I'm just using my French tip brush, and I really just have the tiniest bit on my brush, and I'm just going to scrub that in on these pieces. Make them kind of brown, but it has that bronzy metallic-y. And by using my French tip brush, it gets it down into the crevices of the design. And I can be messy and get it all scrubbed in without getting it all over my project. And again, you guys, I have to tell you, every time I use this, it has the most beautiful fragrance to it. They put some kind of essential oils in it. And that fragrance lasts because I took that scroll over, the Santa scroll, over to my daughter and son-in-law's so that he could get the right measurements when he cut those. And then I unscrolled it today to hang it back up in here. And when I unscrolled it, I could smell it again. And I thought, that is so super nice. Super, super nice. Okay, so I'm going to use a different brush. I'm going to use one of these brushes. I'm going to dry it real quick. I don't know if you guys can see the detail on that. So I'll get them dry because I want to go back over them with the gold. You know, I just changed my mind, and I think I'm going to use the Dixie Belle gilding wax to go over the top of them. So I'm using the Dixie Belle gold gilding wax. That's also what I used on my front door. And rather than use my fingers on this one, I'm just going to use a good stiff brush. I love these stiff brushes. And I'm going to just put a tiny bit on the end of my brush like that. Okay. And then I'm going to lightly just over the surface of them. This is perfect. You can see it doesn't take very much. Okay, that is super pretty, you guys. I'm gonna reload. And my second one was this one with all the berries on it. Like I said in my video today, this is like putting the jewelry on. You know, you've put your makeup on, you've got your clothes on. The last thing you do is put your jewelry on, your earrings and your necklace and your rings. That's what this is like. Super pretty. Okay, just took the tiniest bit, but I love gilding wax. Okay, and one more thing is I want to put some red on the berries in there, but instead of doing red, I have barn red, but I think I'm going to use the muscadine wine. Needs a good stir. Not a shake, you guys. It needs a stir. That's my golden tip for everybody is, even when the jar says shake well, get a popsicle stick and stir it up really well. And then you don't end up with all of this gook and mess like I have on here. I've had this jar for a long time. Just stir it up super good. This muscadine's been sitting around for a while. It's almost the same color as my sweater. Not quite, but almost. Okay, and the best way to do dots is to take the end of a brush, and I don't seem to have, oh, maybe this one is smaller. Yep, that one's perfect, and it looks like it's had a dot on it before. So the best thing to do, you guys, is to, let me get this. I'm going to just get a little bit of this over here. Doesn't take much. Make sure you guys are in camera. Okay, so I'm just going to take the end of my brush and just dip it in like that into the paint, and I want to paint on my little berries. So all I do is just touch, and you get a perfect round dot every single time. And the berries are raised on here, so that makes it super easy. And because I chose this red, the other red would have probably stood out better, but I just wanted to keep it this tone. So that's all of those. Oh, there's a little dot there. And then on this one, there's one in the center of the flower. And over here, there's 2 dots. It's always the details, you guys. Put my brush back, put the lid on. Take a sip of water. Give it a little quick dry. And by giving it that quick little dry, it's going to soften and back up again. Get my glue ready. Get my tree ready. I actually thought in my head, you guys, that I could do an ornament and a tree today. I am so silly. Okay, so I'm going to take the bottom one. I think I'm going to put my glue on. And you guys, I like to just put the glue on with my hands. I know that probably sounds ridiculous, but I don't know how high up I need to go. I need to clear off my table. I've got like 3 different projects sitting on this table. Okay, so this was the bottom one. And this was the middle. So I need to get a little bit more glue. And I'm going to, just so I get the right amount, I'm going to glue the back. And I am going to use a brush this time. And I'm going to butter up. Okay, put my brush in the water so I don't ruin a good brush. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to hit it with the heat one more time so I can just press this down. Now, they're not perfectly even on the edges, and that doesn't bother me at all. But if it bothered you, you could take any kind of a file, a fingernail file, a wood file, any kind of a file, and file that off so it was even on the edge. I'm not going to do that because it just doesn't bother me, you guys. I'm going to remove some of that glue. That was Type Bond wood glue that I used on there. That's what I use for every single project, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to bring the camera back up. I hope that was worth hanging in here a few extra minutes for. Hi, Deanna. Thank you. Okay, so here is the finished project. So doesn't that look pretty? And like I said, it's a little uneven, but I don't, you know, a bark on a tree is uneven too, so that doesn't bother me at all. You can see the berries on it and the gold. And then we've got the gold star up at the top. If you wanted to, you could take some of the gilding wax and just go over the edges on the tree, and I think that would be pretty. Let me just do that real quick and see what you guys think. Oh, did I put the gilding wax away? I did. Let's see. Where'd my little screwdriver go? So these trees are up on my website. They're $3.99 a tree. And the stencil, let me put it back down again. The stencil is up on the website. I think, don't quote me, but I think it's $8.50. $8.50 or $9. And then if you already have Would You Bend, I mean, you don't have to have it on this project. And I'm just using my finger and just doing a little bit of gold around the edges here. I think it's super pretty on here. You could use the same brush that you used. I'm being random on purpose. I think it needed this gold on it, you guys. I really like how it looks. These gilding waxes are so pretty. They come in gold and bronze and copper and zinc and black. And then there's some chameleon colors that are super pretty. And it will last you a long, long time. It's just one of those things you just need to have in your stash. There we go. I think that's it. This time I really do think that's it. I think it just needed that. All right, so let's bring the camera up one more time. I don't know why my light, it looks so smoky foggy today. Okay, there we go, you guys. I'm loving it. Tell me what you guys think. You see what your comments are. Thanks, Lisa. I like that. I like it too. Thanks, Mary. Oh, good, Mary. I'm glad you got the maker. That's what mine is too. Karen, thanks so much. I'm glad you have enjoyed it. Okay, you guys, so this is it. We didn't go too bad. We were only 20 minutes over. That's not too bad. We got the project finished. And I think it's super cute. I'm really happy with it. So, you guys, if you have any questions about it, I'm going to try and do another video later this week because I really want to do this stencil with Santa and the reindeer on it on one of the wooden ornaments. And I really, really like this stencil with the reindeer and the Merry Christmas and that really pretty snowflake. So I'm going to try and do another live video this week, you guys. So thanks so much. Yeah, Mary, if you're going to get a Cricut, you might as well get the top of the line. That's what I did with mine, and I've never regretted it. However, I've never done the engraving. I mean, it does a lot of things. It'll cut fabric. It does a lot of things that I've never even done because I basically do the same thing all the time. And you know, when you get it, it's like an iPhone. It doesn't come with any instructions. So there are some good makers on YouTube, and just send me a text and I'll send you their names because I can't think of them offhand. I just subscribe to them. And speaking of YouTube, you guys, I'm on YouTube, and I would appreciate it, you guys. I'm working so hard to grow my YouTube channel, and I would love it if you would go to my YouTube and subscribe, and that would be awesome. And it's Deborah Bucher Designs. I was really excited because the video that I did about a month ago on the little ornaments that are the round disc, wooden disc with the bark on the edges. When I uploaded that onto my YouTube, I've gotten 2,500 views on just that one. So I was like super excited. So anyway, you guys, that's it. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate it. I love seeing you guys every week. You are the best. You guys have a great evening, and I'll see you maybe in a couple of days. Have a good night.